This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Thursday, the 10th day of June in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Prime Minister Mark Phillips painted a grim picture of the current flood situation across the country this afternoon in the National Assembly, as he outlined the government's plans to deal with the current situation. In his statement, the Prime Minister said the country experienced the second highest amount of rainfall for over 40 years in the past month alone. The trend is expected to continue until the end of August.
It is estimated that we will continue to experience above normal rainfall during the period June to August 2021. During this period, Mr. Speaker, an increase in the number of wet days and approximately 7 days of extreme wet spells can be expected. Flooding also remains a concern for our nation, at least for the period June into mid-July.
With hundreds of farmlands completely flooded, the Prime Minister told the Assembly that food security is now being threatened in all the hinterland communities, especially in regions 7, 8, and 9. Almost 30,000 households in more than 300 communities across the country have been impacted by the floods. In some instances, families have been forced to evacuate and seek sanctuary at shelters due to the damage caused to their homes.
In the wake of these devastating conditions, the Civil Defense Commission has been exceedingly active in its shelter management, evacuation, and relief distribution efforts across Guyana. To date, Mr. Speaker, the CDC has distributed 19,945 food hampers, 17,429 cleaning hampers to affected persons as a form of emergency relief in all the affected communities of Guyana. And as I speak, a total of 201 persons have been housed to date in shelters.
And the Prime Minister also announced that additional shelters are being set up in the hinterland communities, and he added that the CDC is continuing to assess the floods in regions 7 and 8.
These response measures will remain in place as the Civil Defense Commission continues to receive reports of flooding across the country and continuous verification of these reports.
Since the floods started almost 3 weeks ago, several communities have been severely affected, leaving thousands of persons counting their losses and in some cases homeless. On Wednesday, President Irfan Ali announced that the government is currently seeking international help. The floods have now reached the stage of a national crisis. More news coming up in just a moment.
What's our purpose? Together we rise. For our community, our customer, and our country. Our promises: strengthen our community, reliably connect our customers, innovate for all in our country. Together we rise.
Wait, today what day, man? You know what? Maybe it's up to go and get a vaccine sometime soon. Check this book. The book there, man. Oh, shucks, me almost forget the second dose. Me got to go take me second dose of the vaccine. Me got to go now. So doctor, the first vaccine me take in a been hot, right? But me hear say that them say the second one does hot. You go hot?
No, the second vaccine shouldn't hurt either.
Okay, good.
It is very important that all of us take our second dose. Why? Because with the first dose, usually the people who get protection, only 68% of them. If we all take the second dose, that number rises to about 95%. So it is very, very important that Once you've taken the first dose, it's good to take the first dose, but then you must go on to take the second dose. Let us protect ourselves and protect the people around us, our loved ones, friends, and family. I'm Dr. William Ndukro, the past PAHO WHO representative and presently the project director for the Mental Health Suicide Study.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
GWI introduces CAP, their customer assistance promotion that offers massive discounts. For a limited time, get 50% off all reconnection fees and another 50% off your entire bill. If your service was removed or you've reconnected on your own, GWI is offering yet another 50% discount off all tampering and replacement fees. Wallet-friendly payment plans are also available. So tap into GWI's customer assistance promotion by visiting any GWI office and avoid them taking legal action. CAP only applies to customers whose services were disconnected or removed prior to 2021. For more information, call 227-8701 or WhatsApp 620-1667. Water is life. Save it.
Mobil 1 is more than oil. It's many oils. It transforms at the molecular level. When cold, it's thicker than honey. When hot, it's thinner than water. Mobil 1 adapts and readapts to last longer. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes. That's your engine evolved.
Sol Guyana is the authorized distributor of Mobil lubricants.
Let GBTI make your dreams of owning a home a reality. Buy or build your home with us. Let us help you to completely outfit your home and make it move-in ready. Need to purchase land? We finance that too. Benefit from our 10% down payment and interest rates as low as 4.25%. Calculated on the reducing balance with up to 30 years to repay. Switch your mortgage to us and learn about benefiting from the equity in your home. Invest wisely. Apply online or call your branch to schedule an appointment. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
At Sash Financial, we create strategies for strengthening business and personal finances while helping our clients to build sustainable wealth. Our financial and business consultancy services are uniquely tailored to ensure every client receives quality packages and optimal results. Our financial services include financial reporting and analysis, financial status assessment, internal audits, bookkeeping and records management, financial planning advice, tax returns. Our business advisory services are related to business plans, business startups, operational improvement, business management, document preparation, procedures development, efficient marketing. Call or WhatsApp us today for your free consultation on telephone number 592-665-6045. Sash Financial, strengthening businesses, building wealth.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Welcome back. The two PPP government parliamentary secretaries who have been declared unlawfully appointed by the Chief Justice were not present in the National Assembly today, as the Speaker indicated that he will be following the ruling of the court.
We have had, since our last sitting, a ruling by our courts regarding two persons who were sitting in the National Assembly. I refer to the words of the Honorable former Speaker, Mr. Scotland, on the 27th of February 2016. And he concluded this way: "The honorable members are not here, but I believe that I owe it to members of this House to understand their absence. Whatever views may exist in relation to the decision of the court at any time, the first obligation is to obey those decisions, and then we proceed from here." As I've mentioned, the honorable members, the persons so mentioned, are not here today.
The Chief Justice in her ruling made it clear that it would be illegal for the two to continue sitting in the Assembly as members of Parliament. The two unlawfully appointed parliamentary secretaries, Vikash Ramkissoon and Sarah Brown, were candidates on the PP Civic's list at the last elections, which would make them elected members. Although the ruling by the Chief Justice was handed down more than a month ago, the opposition was forced to write the Speaker on 3 occasions, pressing him to obey the ruling of the court as the two candidates continued to enjoy their positions and all that comes with those positions. The Attorney General has since moved to the appeal court seeking a stay of the Chief Justice's order while an appeal is taking place. The court has not made any decision on that request. Let's tell you now that 41 years after his death, the government of Guyana today announced its decision to amend the cause of death on Dr. Walter Rodney's death certificate. While it is unclear what provision exists for the cause of death to be changed on a death certificate, the Attorney General Anil Nandlal told the National Assembly that the late WPA leader's cause of death was listed as misadventure, and that will now be changed to assassination. Rodney was 38 years old when he was killed in a bomb blast as he sat in a car outside the Georgetown prison. The administration at the time claimed that he was making an attempt to break out prisoners when a bomb that he had in his possession went off, but Rodney's family has always maintained that he was assassinated. The Attorney General told the Assembly this afternoon that the government will be honoring Walter Rodney's legacy and his family's wishes to set the record straight on his death.
For too long, Dr. Walter Rodney's death has been the subject of an irreverent misdescription. It was not a misadventure, it was an assassination, a great stain on our republic. This sadistic misrepresentation on Dr. Rodney's death certificate prevented his family from recovering not a blind cent from his insurance policy, the only financial provision he made for his family, his wife, and 3 infant children. This desecration must end now. His death certificate will be amended to delete the word misadventure as the cause of death and substitute therefore the word assassination.
In 2014, the Donald Ramotar administration held a commission of inquiry on Rodney's death. That commission named late GDF officer Gregory Smith as being responsible for Dr. Walter Rodney's death. The Commission's report stated that Smith acted as an agent of the state and was aided and abetted in carrying out the killing by persons who held positions of leadership in state agencies of the then PNC administration. With the death anniversary of Rodney approaching, the Attorney General also announced that the government is committed to moving another motion in the National Assembly seeking the approval of that Commission of Inquiry report and the resolution that the recommendations contained in the report be approved. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony has lauded the opposition APNU-AFC for its recent efforts to encourage persons to get vaccinated against COVID-19. The opposition has launched its own public information campaign to encourage citizens to take their vaccines. During a statement in the National Assembly this afternoon, the Health Minister reminded the Assembly that a pandemic is a national issue that deserves a full national response.
Getting people to take their vaccine is not a government issue or an opposition issue. This is a national issue. And on a national issue where people's lives and livelihoods are at stake, we have to rise above the differences and make sure that we work in the people's interests by encouraging them to get vaccinated.
Dr. Anthony explained that the biggest problem facing the vaccine rollout presently is vaccine hesitancy. He said persons spreading misinformation about vaccination is scaring others away.
Our main challenge is vaccine hesitancy, which is often driven by careless and irresponsible talk. I urge every one of us to be a little more mindful and cautious about the potential harm we can unintentionally inflict when we unwittingly share misinformation about vaccines.
Guyana has so far received over 465,000 doses of the three various COVID-19 vaccines through various mechanisms. While more than 200,000 persons have already received the first dose of one of the vaccines, there is still more ground to be covered.
There's a myth that is going around that for younger persons, you don't need to take the vaccine because you're going to get a milder form of the disease. But from what we are seeing in our hospitals and what we are seeing of severe cases, we have noticed that a trend where younger people are coming into the hospital and some of them are even dying from COVID-19.
The health minister said fully vaccinated persons have not been among the COVID-19 hospitalizations and deaths. Today, the Ministry of Health reported 149 new cases of the virus, along with 2 additional deaths. The country's death toll now stands at 419. The new chief executive officer of GTT has announced a decision to reorganize the management of the company, setting up 4 business units which will each have their own chief operations officer. The 4 units will cover home and fixed service, mobile services, business solutions, and mobile money. GTT's new CEO, Damian Blackburn, who has been on the job for just over a month, today said the organization will be working and looking to better meet the needs of customers and the country as a whole. He also said the company will be continuing with its Together We Rise campaign theme to push community and customers' relations. Mr. Blackburn also announced today that moves will be undertaken to engage the government and other stakeholders in the housing sector as the company seeks to meet growing demand. The CEO said he has spent the last few weeks since taking over the position listening to the concerns of customers. Those concerns will be addressed. Today he also announced a decision to hire additional customer service agents to boost the company's response to the needs of customers.
What's our purpose? Together we rise. For our community, our customer, and our country. Our promises: strengthen our community, reliably connect our customers, innovate for all in our country. Together we rise.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guyana's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyana's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
My name is Dr. Karen Cummings, a public health specialist and former minister within the Ministry of Public Health. I have taken my Sputnik V vaccine today. It was a very simple process. I encourage you to come and take your vaccine very soon so that we can contain this virus and have herd immunity in Guyana.
across the region tonight, 2 Venezuelans who were allegedly caught transporting 9 Latin American nationals have been charged with human trafficking offenses in Trinidad and Tobago. The 29-year-old Pedro David Hernandez Patel and Nohemi del Rosario Vasquez have been charged with offenses according to the Trafficking Persons Act in Trinidad and Tobago. One of the Venezuelans has been charged with transporting a person within Trinidad for the purpose of exploiting that person for prostitution, contrary to the Trafficking Persons Act. The other Venezuelan has been charged for procuration for prostitution, contrary to the Sexual Offences Act. The charges arose from a joint police operation on the 2nd of June, following an intensive investigation by the Special Investigations Unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. The number of undocumented migrants reaching the U.S.-Mexico border has hit the highest level in more than 20 years, in the latest sign of the humanitarian crisis facing the Biden administration. U.S. Customs and Border Protection said it caught 180,034 migrants, mostly single adults, in the month of May. The number was up slightly from the 178,854 in April and the 172,000 in March. It was the biggest monthly total since April of 2000, with increasing numbers coming from outside Central America, which includes countries like Ecuador, Venezuela, Cuba, Haiti, and even some African nations. And finally tonight, international news. The BBC reports that there is complete harmony on the need to solve trade problems in Northern Ireland, the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said. It follows his first face-to-face meeting with US President Joe Biden. The two leaders met in Cornwall on the eve of the G7 summit. Mr. Johnson said the US, the UK and EU all wanted to protect the Good Friday Agreement. Earlier, Mr. Biden warned that the EU and the UK dispute over border controls should not risk the peace process. During their meeting, the two men also established a task force to re-establish travel across the Atlantic after the US banned the most British people from entering at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.